Okie dokie. We are going to be continuing my big ranking extravaganza here with the next 25 titles. One of them could have made it into the previous video, but it would have been or bumped it to 26 titles, and I didn't really want to do that. So let's get started here. Up first, or well, not up first, but in 293rd place, we have To Rome with Love. And I mean, it was a pretty good story. Um, it, it's a romance and adventure story. Um, obviously a romance, but it's a pretty good story. It's got some humor to it, but it's not quite a rom com. But it's good. I enjoyed it. In 292nd, we have Red Sparrow, and this was also a pretty good movie. Um, and yeah, it's an interesting watch. Put it that way. Um, yeah. Let's see. In 291st, this one is very much a romantic comedy with some spooky little elements, but it's not horror. It's just kind of like that could be a little creepy. So, we have Over Her Dead Body, where um, this person got killed by an ice sculpture on or the day of her wedding with Paul Rudd's character here. And then he finds this lady who's kind of a therapist type person, like a psychologist, and or psychic, my bad. And um, all sorts of uh, ghostly mischievousness ensues. Really enjoyable, which is kind of surprising given that it's 291st. But yeah, too many titles to talk about. That's what I chalk it up to. In 290th place, we have Puss in Boots 2: The Last Wish. And this one confirms that it is the same Puss in Boots from the Shrek franchise, just one of his different lives, because I guess he got killed in that continuity or something. I don't know. So each one of his lives has different stories associated with it. This is, I think, leading up to his final life or something, because supposedly cats have 9 lives, I guess. So, okay. Next up is Prom Night from, trying to find the year. With a younger Jamie Lee Curtis, we'll just put it that way. Um, Pretty good movie. Um, it I can see the correlations between this one and a more recent version, but I think they're both on par with each other. So there you go. And up next we have in hold on. Wait. Okay, well, I don't have the next title up here with me, so the next title is Private Valentine, Blonde and Dangerous. And that one was pretty entertaining. It was about a girl named Valentine that decided to try and enlist in the army to make a bunch of money, um, among other motivations. And she didn't really fit in with the crowd, we'll put it that way. And then eventually she ends up fitting in with the crowd quite well. So it's interesting. The next one, or 287th, is also not up here for some reason. That is Pretty in Pink. I couldn't track down where the case for that one went. So there you go. And then 286 is Practical Magic. And Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman play sister witches in this, and they're trying to not use their powers very much, except for practical matters, and it's pretty interesting, the situations they get themselves into. Um, the next three titles, I also don't know where the cases are for them. However, I missed moving one of these titles over here because I do know where the case is. And, so we'll put that there. And those three titles are Wind Chill in 285th, The Cottage in 284th, and Candy Stripers in 283rd. All three of those are kind of like one-off horror movies. A little bit low budget, but it doesn't just detract from from the story at all, at least. And then up next after that, in 282nd, is Playback, and um, that is it's an interesting take on a horror or like slasher, I think, um, where someone is trying or finds a video and they try and figure out if it's legit or not. Um, Opens up a bit of a can of worms for them, and yeah, the guy that provided them with the video ends up being a psycho and trying to kill everybody. So that's fun to watch, at least. And in 281st is One for the Money. This one was pretty enjoyable. She's kind of like a bounty hunter type person. Um, but it's not her idea to become a bounty hunter. She doesn't really have much of another option. So yeah, action comedy. Let's see. Up next is all three volumes of Pink Panther cartoons bunched together. Dad and I watched those at the beginning of the year for the first time and enjoyed ourselves doing that. And then that's in 280th for all three volumes. And then the next title, I don't have the case up here with me for some reason. It's down in my room, and that is A Perfect Murder. In 279th. That was a pretty okay, kind of like thrillery type movie with I think Gwyneth Paltrow and Michael Douglas, so Hank Pym and Pepper Potts, where Hank Pym tries to kill Pepper's character, even though it's his wife, but he tries to make it look like a total accident or like a break-in type situation. So yeah, and then up in 278th place is The Perfect Score. And in this one, Chris Hemsworth, um, Scarlett Johansson, and a few other people, or a few other characters, try to get the answers for the SAT quiz, so they can get a perfect score on it. Hence the title. And so it's kind of like a mini heist type thing where they try and steal the they break into a place and steal the answers to the test. In 277 is the 2018 version of Overboard. I haven't seen the one with Michael. Is it Michael? No. Who's the Kurt Russell? I haven't seen that one yet, all the way through at least. But this one is pretty entertaining. Um, the guy on the package there. Also, the roles of the two main characters is swapped in the from what I was able to gather from what I saw of the one with Kurt Russell. The girl is the one that fell overboard and got amnesia. In this version it's this guy, and she tries to convince him that he's her husband and has like three daughters, but he doesn't buy it at first, and then he's like, Oh yeah, that's right. Uh-huh. And his family finds him and reminds him who he actually is, and he's kind of upset with Anna Faris's character. Up next is both Hot Tub Time Machine movies. Um, Fun and weird premises at the same time. Um, Basically, there's an energy drink in these movies that spills on a hot tub that it just happens to be a time machine, and the energy drink activates the time machine um, um, hardware or whatever, and all sorts of weird stuff ensues after that. And they do it again in the beat for beat in the second one. And then in 275th place, we have National Lampoon's Movie Madness. This one I'm kind of surprised made it this high up in the list because it wasn't all that wasn't all that good, I don't think. But yeah, just kind of weird, weird situations that are like, really, that's what you're going with? Okay. Um, and then in 274th place, we have My Best Friend's Girl, where um, this guy is kind of cocky and full of himself, and this is his girlfriend here, his girlfriend, and oops, um, they get in a fight, and um, he tries to have his friend here, um, like treat her like crap to make her realize how well he treated her, and you know, they end up both falling for each other, the the cocky guy and the girl. So yeah, interesting, interesting setup there. In 273rd, we have um, Margot at the wedding, and um, and this one was actually really funny. Um, so it's hard to describe this one honestly, but it was a good time. And then ignore that this says director's cut because I've only seen the theatrical cut of this movie, and that is um, Little Shop of Horrors. And um, let's see, yeah, uh, it's funny. I enjoy it. Um, I'm curious to see it what the director's cut is like. Um, because it adds like 9 minutes onto the story from 94 minutes to 103. So we'll see if they or if it's makes it even funnier or if it's kind of like too much of a good thing. And then let's see here. Another one that I don't currently have with up here with me that was actually supposed to go before that is Looper. And that one's an interesting bounty hunter type story where someone in the future sends future versions of certain characters to the past to be killed by their past selves or just random people. And if it isn't if the person you're sent to kill or that is sent to you to kill is not yourself, they have I think $50,000 worth of silver on them. Whereas if it is you, it's like $500,000 worth of gold that they put on the person. So that's how you can tell if it's you or not, is if they have gold versus silver, and it's a considerably higher sum for the killing oneself. and then once a character kills him or herself, they have until the year that person was sent back from to live, and then they'll just cease to exist on the day that they're sent back in time to be killed. Pretty interesting. And then in 200, so that's in 272nd. Little Shop of Horrors theatrical cut is in 271st. In 270th place is Life Happens, and this is an interesting comedy um, where uh, Kristen Ritter's character tries to convince a guy she likes that the baby you see her with right there is actually her roommate's, and eventually she gets caught in the lie, and it's pretty funny. And then in 269th, the last title in this video, I might make another part here pretty soon because it's only been like 16 minutes, but I also have a minifigure showcase I want to get to. But the last title for this video, at least, is Legion, where Paul Bettany, aka Vision, plays um, plays the Archangel Michael, and he's fighting off a bunch of demons and whatnot, and as well as other archangels. So interesting story. I kind of like this one. This one was pretty good. Which again, it's in 269th place. How good could it possibly be? A lot better than the placement suggests. So yeah, that is it for this video. And I think I'm gonna see how many of the titles for the next portion I have alongside me here, because I might go ahead and do another part. So yeah. Also, new glasses, got them yesterday. You'll be seeing those in most of my videos moving forward for a while at least. I might not wear them when I record permanently, but at least for the next few months, I'll be wearing them 24/7 unless I'm sleeping. So yeah, every waking hour I'll be wearing them. We'll put it that way. So anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, my ranking may not be the right one. It's just my thoughts, and with a ranking this big, they're not even all like thoughts that I would stand by if they were in a much shorter ranking scenario. So I might rank these movies again, doing 25 movie intervals like I am currently, but have them be 1 to 25 or 25th to first place in each video, so it's not like, oh, this one's in 279th. It's that sort of thing, because that doesn't seem all that fair to some of these titles that are actually really good. So I might fix that with the next time I do a ranking like this. Like when I rank my entire collection, for example. I'll do that then.